Hello, lovely. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't met me before, then hello, lovely to meet you. My name is Laura. I am 40 years old, and here on this channel, I love to talk about makeup, life with chronic illness, plus size, fashion, although I haven't talked about that for a long time. But it's mainly makeup and beauty. I am a qualified makeup artist of over 20 years, although not actively anymore. And yeah, I just absolutely love makeup and everything that goes along with it. I'm coming to you barefaced because I'm going to do just an old-fashioned chatty get ready with me today. I have in mind that I want to do a green look. I've pulled out one of my Revolution Bratz palettes. This is the Jade palette, and it has some really unique shades in it, so I want to do a green look. I've also pulled out a little Makeup Academy £5 palette. This is the bronze palette, just to give me some more grounding shades. There aren't many mattes in that Bratz palette. And yeah, I've got all my makeup pulled in my makeup bag ready to go. And yeah, I just wanted to have a chat with you. I am getting ready to go out, so I can't make this super long, but I just wanted to have a chat like I used to, a bit of a heart to heart. And yeah, so if you want to see me create a nice soft autumn green look, then do keep watching. Okay, so I've done all my skincare. I haven't done my eyebrows yet, which I would usually do, but as this is going to be sort of a chatty video, I thought I would do everything on camera with you. So firstly, I'm just going to apply some primer. This is the I Heart Revolution Tasty Watermelon Serum Primer, and I'm just going to do a couple of pumps of that. And then while that's sinking in, I can move on to my eyebrows. So I haven't filmed the video that I filmed the other day, the first one, for a couple of months. I had originally planned on making that a chatty video, but I felt so uncomfortable on camera that I just wanted to do sort of a just stick my makeup on and have the camera running. And I'm still not feeling 100% comfortable on camera. I feel really rusty, like unorganized, and just, yeah, not my usual self. But that's kind of been the theme for me for the last couple of months, and one of the reasons why I haven't been filming. So when we came back from the caravan last time, which was the last time I filmed while we were here last time, I hadn't filmed at home at all. When I got back, me and my mum and dad all had what we thought was just a cold, like a cold or a virus or something, you know, typical symptoms: aches and pains, fever, very lethargic. I had like my sinuses felt really congested. But it was just one of those things. I thought, oh, it'll run its course and everything will be okay. And it did run its course. I didn't have to go to the doctors or anything. It just sort of passed by. The sinus congestion left me, but I was left with severe tiredness, like extreme tiredness, aches and pains, like even my arms and my hands have been aching. Oh, I've just finished my brow pencil. I think I've just got enough left to do the tail. Huh, yay. It's so nice when you actually finish a makeup product as somebody with such a big collection. So that can go on my empties list. Yeah, so the lethargic feeling, the aches and pains stayed, and I started having dizzy spells, real, like, feeling really dizzy, disorientated, confused, and then the one day I passed out. I'd only have to do the slightest bit of activity and I'd feel completely wiped out, dizzy, and literally have to go to bed and go to sleep. And then that day that I passed out was quite scary. It happened when me and my mum had just popped to our local retail park to fetch our prescriptions, and I was in the car on the way home, and I started feeling really, really odd, really confused. I had to make mum stop the car because I felt like I was going to vomit. And I passed out only for like a few moments. It wasn't anything like major, like I didn't hit the deck or anything, but mum and dad had to get me in the house from the car and up to bed. And I pretty much slept all through that day and night into the next like late morning. So yeah, I've dropped my brow gel, just a sec. So yeah, I then started with what felt like another virus not long after that incident in the car, and I was worried that maybe it was COVID. So I did a COVID test, it was all clear, and I was like, I think it's time that I admit defeat and I actually go and see the doctor. But trying to get in to see my doctor it's ridiculous. You can't sort of book in like there and then. It has to be like from 2 weeks from the time that you speak to them. They've now stopped you booking appointments over the phone. You have to go through an online triage that takes 72 hours for them to come back to you. And then like the appointments for like a week after. I did the online triage, and actually I was quite lucky that they phoned me back that day, and I booked in for the following week, which was the day that we came to the caravan. But unfortunately, the doctor that I saw was a trainee, and you see him, you have to go through the whole, what's wrong with you and everything. Then he sends you back to the waiting room while he goes and he speaks to a senior colleague, and then they call you back in and decide what the next steps are. And he had decided that the next steps for me were some blood tests, because I explained, like, I'm not just tired all the time, I am exhausted. I've lost interest in everything. I've not been putting makeup on. I've not had any interest in buying makeup, which is good because I'm back on my no buy. I've not really been watching much beauty YouTube. I'll start watching a TV program and then I can't concentrate, so I turn it off. I haven't picked up a book since we were here at the caravan last time. And I just feel really low and fed up because of being like exhausted all the time. And I don't know, which is one of the things that I said to the GP, is it my depression? Is my perhaps my mental health medication that I've been on for years and years, does that need changing? Or is it something like physical that is making me have a low mood? Which I'm leaning more towards that. I've said, like, when I saw the GP, I said, I feel like I'm lacking something, like something's been taken away from me, like an energy source or something. Like my hands ache, my arms ache. I can go to bed at night, sleep for 12 hours, and I'll wake up and I'm like falling back to sleep in the car or in the lounge. If I go out with mum anywhere, I'm having to cut it short because I'm having dizzy spells, and I'm having to go home and go to bed, and it's just not normal. I know that there's something that's not right. So I've got to have these blood tests, but then I couldn't book the blood tests because of going away, and they couldn't book anything for when we came back. They couldn't book that far ahead, even though we were only 2 weeks away for 2 weeks. They couldn't book anything for then. So I've got to ring this week to get my blood tests booked in, and then go from there. But yeah, I'm really proper fed up, really low. I said to my mum last night, it's like, it feels like I'm just existing at the moment. Like, I have only got the energy to exist. I haven't got the energy really to do anything. I mean, I've had to force myself to sit here and put makeup on because me and mum are having to go out, and I just don't want to. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything. I know that I'm going to have that inevitable like crash after. Um, and on top of that, living with endometriosis as well. Like I'm sort of having to manage all that as well. So I just feel really low, really fed up with it. Um, and I went through all that to get a doctor's appointment, and I really didn't get anywhere. Um, it, and the thing was as well, when I got back from the doctor's after I'd been there for over an hour and a half, he phoned me to basically go through what I'd already gone through with him and say, did I think it was my mental health, and did I think I needed to see somebody for talking therapy? And I'm like, we've just been through all this. So yeah, that is why I've not been filming. As I say, I've forced myself to film these couple of videos while we've been away, just because I want to get back into it. It gives me an excuse to get my makeup on and just do something that feels like, like me, something familiar. But yeah, that is where I've been and what I've been dealing with. I have no idea what the problem is. Whether it is like mental health adjacent, or if it is something physical that needs looking at. But hopefully the blood tests will put me on the right track. But I haven't even really been able to enjoy the holiday, which is another thing that I was has brought me down a bit. I've just not had the energy to do anything. I'll get up for a bit and I'll have to go back to bed because I'm literally like dizzy, falling asleep, feeling like I'm going to pass out. So yeah, I'm sure people think I'm being over dramatic, but you know what it's like when you know your own body, you know when there's something not right. And I know that this isn't right, the way that I'm feeling. Like, I live with chronic illness and I know what's normal, I know what's my baseline, and this is not normal. Right, I'll just quickly finish blending my foundation in and then we'll talk about some makeup instead. Okay, so that's my foundation blended in. Everything I've used I'll list in the description box. Now I'm just going to go under my eyes with the Skin Silk Under Eye Brightener and Concealer from Makeup Revolution. So I am back on my no-buy, as I said. Not for any other reason than I just am kind of over makeup at the moment. I still love makeup. I'll always be super passionate about makeup, but I think I'm just over the constant new and the, you know, bringing new things in and not having the time to love on the things that I already have. So that is like my focus at the moment. I'm back to doing a Shop My Stash. I will film one soon. I just sort of reorganised all of my collection, both here and at home. Decluttered a few bits and bobs that were like expired, or packaging was broken, things like that. Only like a handful of things. I'm trying not to declutter at the moment whilst being on a no-buy. I think it's better to declutter mindfully, like by using things and seeing how you actually feel about them. So that is what I've been doing, and I've not really had any issues with the no-buy. The only thing that's sort of tempted me is the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Embers palette, the one that's supposed to be basically the original Makeup by Mario palette that they collabed on all them years ago, because I never got that one. And also the new Mini Charms palette from Beauty Bay. They were the only things that have sort of tempted me, and I decided against picking them up. I'm just wanting to use the stuff that I own and really like get to know things, and also I kind of want to declutter my collection in that way, like by using things and deciding, oh, it's not for me anymore. Like, I've decided to declutter the foundation that I've used today. This is the old formula of the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour full coverage foundation. I mean, I'm about halfway done with it, you can see. this was at one time my favourite drugstore foundation, but I just feel like it looks really dry and heavy on my skin now. Like, I'm 40 years old, I've got dry skin. I prefer a lighter coverage, more radiant finish. So this one I'm going to be decluttering, and that's what I've been trying to do lately. Is declutter through either using things up, like I used up finally my Laura Mercier concealer. I've used up a couple of brow products. That was before that one. And yeah, just using things to completion, or deciding that they don't work for me. But not, I'm trying not to declutter because perhaps I don't like the colour story of something. I'm trying to, before I do that, use it and then decide, rather than just get rid of palettes or something because I'm not that into the colour story. Actually use them, because I do find often times that you obviously taste change, and something that I don't like now I might like in a month or so. So, but if I use something and I don't like it on me, I don't like how it looks, then I'm happy to declutter that way. So yeah, that's just a small update on me. I'm so sorry to be like a Debbie Downer, but I just wanted to tell you the reason why I perhaps haven't seemed myself and I haven't been filming. I'm really hoping that I get somewhere with my doctors, and that, you know, I get some answers through the blood test, or, you know, even if it's like I need to start taking a supplement or something. But I don't want to do anything like that yet until the blood test, because I don't want to like mask something that's a problem. So yeah, I've been trying to do what my body wants, which is rest as much as possible, sleep when I feel like I literally physically can't stay awake, just go to bed and sleep. But also, like today, forcing myself to get ready and go out for some fresh air, even though I don't want to. I know that it'll do me good in the long run. It's hard to find a balance. And in the meantime as well, whilst I've been feeling like this, my self image is at an all-time low again. Like, I just don't like how I look, don't like anything about myself at the moment. I feel like I'm getting bigger and bigger and bigger weight wise, and I just feel really uncomfortable in my own skin. Like, I feel like cumbersome, and like I'm having to shift this massive weight around, like physically and mentally. So yeah, I am not doing too good at the moment, but I am trying to show up, especially here, to do makeup and that, because I know that it makes me feel good. It's my passion, and I oftentimes film even though I don't want to, and I feel so much better afterwards. So I'm really hoping that that happens. But yeah, and don't get me wrong, I know that what I'm talking about is nothing in comparison with what's going on in the world and what other people are dealing with, but I just wanted to be honest about some things that are going on with me and why I perhaps haven't been myself and not been as present. The next video I'm going to be filming will be my Full Face of Makeup Academy, and I've incorporated some of the products into this look, some that are favourites and some that I wasn't fully familiar with, just so I can get a bit more of an idea and a feel for them before I do that full face. This cream blush that I'm using is one of the Makeup Academy liquid blushes in the shimmery version. It's the shade Frenzy, and this one is a favourite, and I haven't used it for a while, so I just think it's so pretty. Okay, let's do powder, and again I'm going to use Makeup Academy for my powder. So. Okay, so for under my eyes, I've just used the MUA Luminous Glow powder. This is a beautiful loose powder. And then for the rest of my face, I'm going to use the Pro Base Full Coverage matte powder, just a light dusting of this. And then for powder bronzer, another Makeup Academy product. This is another favourite. This is the MUA Bronzed Powder Bronzer in the shade Solar 100. Okay, now I'm just going to spritz my face with some of the Makeup Revolution Fix and Glow, because this foundation is so matte. Okay, so to prime my eyes, I've just used the e.l.f. No Budge Shadow Stick in the shade Champagne Crystal. And now let's get started on my eyeshadow. Okay, so to begin with, I'm going to go into the Makeup Academy Bronzed palette, and I'm going to go into this first lightest matte shade just to add something through my crease. I hope everybody is doing good. If you have any experience of like the symptoms that I've been talking about and it sounds like something, you know what it could be, then do please let me know. Obviously I am going to be going for bloods and through my GP, but yeah, it would be nice to get somewhere with them. Okay, and I'm also going to take that shade underneath my eye as well, along my lower lash line. Okay, and now switching over to the Bratz palette, I'm going to take a small amount of this top matte shade here in the shade Trendsetter, which is like a beautiful forest green, and I'm going to add that to my lash line and into my outer corner. A little bit of that shadow goes a long way. And then I'm going back to the first brush just to help me blend that. And I want this to be fairly soft, so I think I'm going to leave the matte at that. And then I'm going to take this green here called Carnaby Street, and I'm going to add that to my outer corner on my lid. I'm just going to use this like small packing brush to do that. That's a gorgeous shade. Okay, and then I'm going to flip the brush over and I'm going to go into this shade Platforms, which is next to the matte green that I used. It's like a cool toned like olive brown. That's really pretty as well. The shimmers in these palettes are stunning. There we go. And then I'm going to run a little bit of that shade underneath my lower lash line. Okay, and then this palette along the bottom has these like larger shimmer shades that can be used on the face or the eyes. So I'm going to take this shade here, Stop and Stare, and I'm just going to tap that in the very centre and on my inner corner. And then I'm going to just add some brown pencil liner to my upper and lower waterline, add some brown mascara, and then I'll come back to finish the face and lips. Okay, so for mascara I used the Makeup Revolution Wrap Lash in the shade Brown, and I have made a little bit of a mess on my upper lid, but I will get to that. I'm just going to line my lips with the Makeup Academy Intense Colour Lip Pencil in the shade Truffle. Okay, I'm just going to add a little bit of highlighter. This is just the Essence highlighter. And instead of a powder blush, I'm going to use the Bouncy Blur blush from Makeup Revolution, and this one is in the shade Coral Blur Burst. That is pigmented. There we go. And now I just need to get rid of that bit of mascara. Okay, for the lip, I'm not sure if this is going to go, but it kind of matches my t-shirt. This is the Revolution Starburst Shimmer Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Moonlit Rose. And these are such a comfortable formula. They feel like really cushiony. And when they dry down and you rub your lips together, they go shimmery. Okay, so I'm going to pop off camera now and just put my hair up, and I'll come back to show you the final look. Okay, and that's me done. I've just done a scruffy bun because I'm going to have a scarf and a coat on, so it's got to be out the way. My hair is so long now that I don't know what to do with it. I've never had it this long since I was a child, so yeah, that's the look. A nice soft green autumn look, something kind of casual, but I'm really pleased that my skin looks like it's got some life to it now. But yeah, that's me all done. Thank you so much for watching and for sticking with me to the end of the video. If you have, leave me a red heart to match my t-shirt. And yeah, in my next video, as I say, I'll be doing a full face of Makeup Academy, which I'm really excited about. So I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, lovely. Bye.